Good evening. My name is Amalu Antonia. I'm a graduate student of Grand Canyon University, currently pursuing Masters in Elementary Education. And today I'm here to talk about factors that affect student learning, focusing on whole child education, how to support the child education. And I'm gonna discuss the factors like language, culture, socio-economic situation. Number one, language. Language definitely and significantly affects the way a child learns. If a child cannot speak English or understand English, that will definitely affect the way that they learn. And the United States today is becoming a multilingual country. There are so many people from all over the world coming into the United States, and most of them are not native English speakers. We have high influx of Hispanics, and then from Ukraine, in the Arab world, it's no longer just Hispanics. When they talk about Africans that speak French and then Germans. So how do teachers, how can we cross this barrier and deliver quality education to these students? So that is why we're here to talk about how we can do that, because these are factors that affect them. And then we'll talk about their cultural beliefs, like some countries coming from the Arab world that they believe a girl child should not go to school. How do we bridge that gap as teachers to teach these children that they can go to school? Because culture plays an important role in how a child learns. So we as teachers have to understand. Just for example, if a child comes to school with a hijab, are we going to tell that child to move their hijab, knowing that it's part of their culture? So these are the things that a teacher should know. And then we're talking about a child's socio-economic status. Everybody in the United States is not rich. Some kids are still turning up hungry. I remember a child telling me last week that he doesn't eat before he comes to school, or sometimes at night because money is tight. So how do we as teachers help students like that? So what I do is I make sure he gets breakfast when he comes, and I make sure he takes lunch, and if there's any extra, I'll give it to him to take home. So that way I know that he has dinner to eat, and I also know that he has younger ones. So I'm praying that the teachers of those other younger ones are helping out. So how do we help children like that and avoid bias? Knowing that a child is coming from situations like with cultural limitations, language limitations, socioeconomic limitations. As a teacher or as teachers, how do we help to make sure that that child is learning? How do we bridge that? So that is where that leads us into classroom practices and how to eliminate bias. So as teachers should constantly reflect. As a teacher, I have to constantly reflect on potential biases related to that, to make sure that I'm not being affected by that, and that I'm delivering quality instruction to my students. And then how do we support these diverse students in our classes? So we can incorporate multicultural literatures, resources that celebrate and explore diverse cultures and languages. Or like I can decide to tell my class that, today is hijab day, everybody should wear hijab to class. So that way my student who is Muslim and the hijab feels included in the discussion. Or I can decide to do a language day and print everything in Spanish, though that's not part of the class discussion, but that can be something fun to do and force every student to try to learn Spanish. And we can do that as fun to make my Spanish students feel, included or inclusive environment in my classroom. And we can encourage peer-to-peer interactions, collaborations, and sharing of cultural backgrounds to foster empathy and understanding among students. Or something like potluck that we do in school, that we encourage teachers to bring their different foods and wear different attires to make sure that everybody is included. And the teachers should also encourage local and global network to be part of networks, go to events, seminars, meet different people, travel, and then they can, and learn other cultures and other environments, and that they can also bring that back to their classroom. So if teachers can do all that, I will know that they'll be better, and they will be better, and they will strive more ways to deliver instructions in the classroom. Thank you. Bye bye.